Alright, so we're working on this 2003 Celica GT. Has the 6-speed manual, and basically when you put it in the gear under a heavy load, would hear a banging sound, and so went underneath to investigate. Kind of sounds like a motor mount or something like that was loose, and what we found was that the front motor trans mount had only had one bolt holding it in, and basically what happened is it pulled the one that was holding it in, it pulled the nut out of it, so it tore the bracket. So called around, a parts store had one, so we're going to go pick it up. Okay, and looking underneath, so once you have the jack stands holding the car up, you want to place the floor jack underneath the transmission, put a little bit of pressure up on it, that way when you take out all the hardware on the cross frame member, to loosen the mount, that way the transmission doesn't try to go anywhere. It does have other mounts hold it in, but if it moves down, it's going to be hard to put everything back together. So jack it up just a slight bit, and it'll make everything a lot easier. Alright, so here's the new mount next to the old mount. This was the problem with the old mount. One of the bolts had fallen out, or it wasn't in there, and then the one bolt that was in there got ripped out. So I had the new mount. Got it from a parts store. Here's the part number in case you need it, and then we'll put it back together with the new mount. Okay, so looking underneath, we have the bracket off the side of the transmission, and then we're going to install the new mount into the bracket. It just has a through bolt. Might have to tap it in place. So we'll get that installed, and then we'll put the subframe member back in. Okay, so we put the bolt back in, just have it loosely in there. That way we can adjust this to get the bolt holes to line up in the cross member. Alright, so putting it back together, first thing we did was put the member back in. All the hardware is just loose, left it all loose, that way we could adjust it, make sure everything lines up correctly. Then we put the two bolts to the bottom of the mount back in, and so we'll tighten it up. We're going to tighten the two bolts to the mount first, and then tighten up the other nuts and bolts holding the subframe in. Yeah, basically this entire job was done with a ratchet and a 14mm with a short extension, floor jack, and some jack stands. So it's really simple to do, something you could do yourself easily, as long as you have a safe place to jack it up at.